Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Mark Bishop Show, where we have all sorts of wonderful things on entrepreneurs, inventors, successful business people, the millionaires and the battlers. It doesn't matter. We all make it up. We're all part of it all, aren't we? And of course, with the biggest number in America is the solo entrepreneur and the small business guy, making up 72% or something, or 82% of the gross domestic profit. Marla is a Kansas farm girl, a realtor, entrepreneur, and wellness advocate. In fact, a health and wellness strategist. A graduate of the University of Nebraska at Kearney, she spent more than 30 years in senior housing and healthcare leadership before being diagnosed with MS. Her health journey sparked a passion for holistic wellness, focusing on mindset, movement, nutrition, and innovative wellness technologies. And today, while she inspires others to pursue better health, resilience, and a greater freedom of life. Throughout her professional career, she's driven by a passion for serving others and helping people navigate some of life's most important transitions. Sounds like a hell of a lady, doesn't it? And here she is right now. Marla, hello there. Welcome.
Hello, Mark. So nice to meet you again, and just so honored to be a guest of your show and just share this little journey with everybody.
Well, you're most welcome. You got a heck of a story. That's why I wanted you on the thing, and also you're going to be sharing a little bit with some wonderful new invention, I believe. So I'm looking forward to that. 30 years you've worked in senior housing, welfare, healthcare, I should say, and aging services leadership, partnering with families and residents and caregivers and organizations to create positive outcomes and meaningful experiences. So from all of that, what's your biggest takeaway from all of those experiences?
Well, Mark, working in senior living taught me the importance of understanding people's individual needs and really listening to what it is that they were going through. So many people, when they're looking for senior living, it's a transition in life. And it's really listening to people during those times of change. Not one housing style fits everybody, or maybe they're going from the hospital to a rehab center. And I always told my sales teams, I'm like, Grandma was driving down the highway yesterday, and last night she had a stroke. And now she finds herself sleeping in a twin size bed with all these devices, a hospital bed hooked up to her, monitored when she comes out of it. And it was such an upsetting thing. Like, she was sleeping in her king size bed the night before, and all of a sudden the next day she's someplace else. So we always have to listen to people when we transition. And I think in the world that I'm in now, both real estate and in helping people with their health journeys, you have to listen to people's needs.
I think listen is the key word, isn't it? A lot of people don't. You found your purpose really serving others with compassion. Your career, though, it has included leadership roles focused on operations, sales, and marketing, and business development as well, and community engagement. And it's always centered around, though, on improving quality of life and building strong relationships. What do you think? Where do they come from, do you think?
When you're raised on a farm, and I think it's just integrity, and you had to do your chores. You had to get outside, and there are things that had to be done. And I just instilled that throughout my career and the getting through things. And there's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be change. But if you have resilience and passion and you want to serve others, that it just comes together as one whole symmetric full circle. Like, it all flows together. It flows in and out. There's always going to be a bump along the way, but if you have resilience, you can continue to move forward.
Well, we're going to get into the health component part of it in a second, but I want to know, how does the real estate, how does that plug into your background, really?
Well, being in senior living, real estate kind of mirrors that, really. You're really helping people. And so I was always showing people their next new living arrangement, right? In senior living. So whether it was they're showing them a $500,000 apartment or townhome that they were buying, or showing them from the hospital bed to a skilled nursing bed in the rehab that they were going to experience, you're always telling the story of the journey as how it goes along. And so with real estate, you're doing the same thing. You're listening to your buyer or your seller's needs. If the seller is moving out of the area, what are they wanting to get out of their home? How are they wanting to parlay that to the future buyer? What are they wanting to share their home with another person for? So I always have people like, write a story. Tell us your story of why you loved living here. But to the buyer, it's also understanding exactly what their needs are. And really collaborating with people over time.
Yeah, you're passionate. I can see that. That's good because you've got to be that way. It's not just a quick sell and thanks a lot. I've made some commission. See you later. It's their home. And you make it their home for them. So you're in the business with what, your hubby?
What's that?
You're in the business with your hubby?
Yes. We work with Long Realty here in Tucson, Arizona.
Right.
And we have Beyond with Bernard Realty as our team name. And so just really helping people from first-time home buyers to retirees, and then people that are moving in and out of the city and around the area.
Well, it's been an interesting period of time. How are we doing now in our fair regional city? How is real estate overall?
We're experiencing a market correction, and overall, it's holding steady. I always say that Tucson's a flux city because we have industry here, we have military base here, we have businesses that are related to military. And so people are always transitioning in and out of the city. But at the same time, we're a huge retirement area. So we're always working with people that are looking for their next or their seasonal home. Right. But we're also working with that new home buyer, that first-time home buyer that has never purchased a home. So we remain pretty steady in our business, and it's always fun to meet new people and have a conversation and find out what people's next needs are.
Well, of course, we've got our snowbirds. And thousands of them come here, and they've got their second homes here as well.
Yes.
So they're always looking for something, and lock it up and leave. But for someone who lives and works in southern Arizona, I bet you especially love introducing people to the desert lifestyle. A lot of people from back east have got the wrong idea on desert living.
I say that healing happens.
It's not all sand dunes and stuff. It's a lot more than we've got trees, we've got birdies, we've got all sorts of stuff, unique communities. So how has your experience in healthcare leadership combined with your work in real estate, do you think, and entrepreneurship? I mean, does it give you a different perspective on helping people navigate which way to go? Because, you are a sufferer of MS yourself. By the way, when did you find that out?
Yeah, funny story. I found that out right after I moved here.
It's fascinating what you've done. Let me ask you this. How was your experience? With all you've done in the real estate world and all you've done in the healthcare world in the past, that experience in healthcare leadership combined with your work in real estate and entrepreneurship, tell me, Marla, how does it give you a unique perspective, do you think, on helping people navigate change? We're talking about building their confidence here. This is where the health component comes in, and that you like it and create a life that they want. How does that happen, do you think?
Yeah, well, my experience in healthcare leadership, real estate, and entrepreneurship all kind of tie together hand in hand. And regardless of the industry, people are navigating change. When people are living with chronic stress and chronic pain, I've learned that they're not at their best. And so in each one of those roles, I think we identified earlier that you've got to listen. You've got to figure out where people are coming from, what is their change that they're going through, what is it their need is. And I really learned that success comes from building trust. And that happens with listening and helping people feel confident in the decisions that they're making.
Yes.
And really, whether they're improving health or making a major life transition or pursuing a new opportunity,
right,
I've found that people thrive when they have the right support systems in place. And so whether that was transitioning into a new housing model after they've lost a loved one, or they've experienced a major health crisis, right, or they're moving across the country before a job transfer, when you listen and you identify what their needs are, you're going to be able to support people where they're at, if possible. Okay. And with healthcare and with these patches that I'm representing now, I've just gained so much clarity that so many people are really walking around with high stress levels, tension,
Right.
chronic pain, but they're living through it because we have to go about our day, right? So
Right.
you're helping them overcome that and build the confidence and live a better quality of life.
Okay. So you fell into the Super Patch, the Super Patch Company, is that right?
That
I've
is
got a little
correct.
video here too. We'll play that in just a minute, but this fascinates me. All these pretty colors. There's one, two, three. What is there, a 9 or 11?
There's 15 patches now.
Oh, there's 15 now. Okay. Now, so what are they? What do they do?
Well, very interesting. They send a neurocode to the brain. As you know, we kind of forget that our skin is our largest organ. And we can tell the micro weight difference if a fly or a gnat lands on us, or even just a strand of hair.
Okay. Right. I think
Yep.
this one here is probably the better one. If I show this now, this one here. There.
Yeah. So
Okay.
really to help kind of dive into what that graphic is and what that photo is, that really explains how the patches work. So there's our skin is our largest receptor.
It is too.
And
Covers the body.
it does. And
Yep.
it works constantly with the brain. It's sending a signal all the time back and forth to the brain. It's telling you whether something's hot or cold, whether you can pull your hand off of a hot pan very quickly
Right.
and realize it, or if something is completely that you shouldn't touch. Like it's like, ooh, it's going to be ooey or gooey. Like it's all of our
Yeah.
sensory issues. So the patches themselves contain a proprietary coating on them. I'm actually going to peel one apart here so people can kind of see what it looks like. It comes
Okay.
as a little square. And when you peel the pet label off of it, you'll see that there is like a fingerprint code on there. But that's just an
That's what
indicator.
fascinated me about this, right? That is an actual code.
Yes, but the code is actually on the backside, and that's what people don't realize.
Right.
The code is what goes against your skin.
Okay.
So,
Where on my skin? My head, my forehead, my
yeah. So 14 of the patches you can wear anywhere on the body.
anywhere on the body. Okay.
Yep. The pain patch, we like to tell people to put it between the pain and the brain because you want to send that code from that region that's in pain to your brain. So I've seen people who've had a headache and they've got a freedom patch on their forehead or on the back of their neck, depending on where the tension is at.
Hey.
Shoulder pain,
All right.
knee pain, ankle pain. So most of the patches can be worn anywhere on your body, and some people like to wear them so that they're visible, and other people like to hide them. Like they'll wear them on their lower back, or they'll wear them up on their shoulder. So
All right. Well, let's look at this one a little bit more. Then we'll come back to the patches.
yeah,
So let me understand this because, you know, some people watching or listening to this could be saying, what a bunch of bloody bullshit. That's, you know, crock or whatever they say. The thing is, how do you know it's not libido or this or that? Well, what I want to know is this. It sounds very clever. It sounds very today. Number one.
yeah,
Yes, you feel everything on your skin. Hot stove, a burn, boiling water. You bang your bloody arm into the door. And as we get older, I notice I've got patches or blue and patches all over me. Not your patches yet. I'm dying to try these things, believe me. If they can do what they do, you got me, I'll tell you. But the reality is we do feel everything with the skin. So who came up with the idea that, hang on, there's got to be a connection between the skin and the brain?
a brilliant man by the name of Jay Dollywall. And his mom has MS. And so I was very relatable on that forefront.
Yes, of course.
And he noticed her cognitive and her physical decline through the years. She was diagnosed when he was a young child. He became a well-done millionaire in the .com industry.
Okay.
He's a software engineer, so writing code. And he's like, I realized when you start asking neurologists and doctors, like, well, what's the next thing? Like, why can't we figure this out? And they say, that's a great question. Or
without dropping tablets all the time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Wrecking the kidneys, yeah, right.
Yes. So it was always medication, medication, medication.
Of
but
course.
never anything advancing. Like there wasn't progress and I will tell you that happens with a lot of people who are suffering with autoimmunity issues. There's a multitude of diseases out there these days, and a lot of times we're just, I like to call it medication stacking. I saw it working in the nursing home. Somebody would come in. I saw it with my own dad. My dad had MS, and I remember one time I was helping him, and he was incredibly great, but he was filled with lots of information and wasn't able to be mobile. And I'm like, what are all these pills? And we were going through all these medications, and I upset the apple cart and threw them up in the air. And I was like, you're just medication dosing. So when I started going down the path of being diagnosed with MS, I knew I didn't want to be on a ton of medication. So that's where this fit in appropriately.
So enough with your dad, right? But tell me, is it hereditary?
Well, they say it's not hereditary.
Right.
But it's a genetic mismutation. Now, there's so many studies coming out with MS now as to why. Right. But at the same time, there's 24 drugs for MS. So people are looking to find maybe taking less medications. And so really the analogy with the super patch and how this all fits together is if you think about how a key fits into a lock. And each of the super patches, there's 15 of them. Each of them have a unique series of patterns that communicate a different signal to the nervous system. So I talked about the brain earlier.
That makes sense. That's what the so-called thumbprint, or what's it called again?
Yeah, there's a fingerprint on each one of them.
A fingerprint on each one, and you peel it off.
You peel it off.
And that fingerprint is going to relate to a particular suffering.
I won't say it's necessarily the fingerprint that relates to that, but there's a code imprinted on the back of the patch that touches your skin. So whatever that code is, works with your brain. Your brain controls your entire nervous system.
So the brain knows too when it's hurt, the skin is hurt or feeling.
Yes.
So what does the signal do?
The other analogy that I often make to people when I talk to them, because not everybody gets it right away, but I often think if you think of a labyrinth on the ground and you're walking in the labyrinth, it's a concurrent circle of rings. And a lot of times I've seen them made out of rocks. Maybe it's just a desert thing. I don't know. So if you think of a rock that got moved out of the circle of rings, or the ring of circles, you think a rock got slid out of the way, and it blocks your path. Think of that as your pain code is blocked. So now you're constantly in pain. But that pattern is sending a signal to your brain or into the labyrinth that says, move that back. And I can concurrently continuously move around that path. The brain is the same way. It is made up a series of loops, much like the fingerprint on our hand. Your brain is that series of loops. And so when a neurocode gets stuck in a loop, or a nervous system pattern gets stuck in a loop, you can actually bring relief to it by moving it forward. So the patch itself isn't necessarily doing its work, it's providing information to the brain and to the nervous system, and the body is responding to it.
And it works. Prove it to me.
Well, I
tell you what, you can give me some samples. Okay, well, you're doing darn well for starters.
Yeah.
And no, you've got a lot of stories, apparently. You show people and different photographs, and they can even meet people. I mean, you were showing me some very interesting stuff. A lady that couldn't even walk gets up and, it reminds me of my old Herbalife days, I got to tell you. But at the end of the day, this thing couldn't sell as much as it does, and it couldn't hang around and be what it gets and does for people unless it worked.
Right. Well,
that's an interesting.
Other unique thing is that it's non-transdermal. So there's no ingredients, there's no magnets, there's no electrodes or electric magnetic going through your body. It works if you're on medication. It's going to even maybe help people come off of some medication or even supplements.
So you can do this thing while you're taking your normal medication that the doctor wants you to take. right?
Yes. Because it's
But
communicating with your nervous system.
communicates with the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Very clever. Is this thing worldwide, global now?
We're in 33 countries now, and we're
Really?
continuing to expand.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
So in effect, Marla, you found through this business a way really to combine your passion for wellness, service, and entrepreneurship,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it is, while empowering others to take an active role. You've got to take an active role, folks, in your health and your future. You've got to do it. Nobody else will. So, I mean, what was going on in your life before you started using the patches? How did you get on? I mean, MS is no fun, is it?
No, it cannot. I mean, for some people, it's not good for some people, and
Very deliberating.
it's.
Yeah.
I think my story is a little different because I watched my dad with that journey, and I also took care of two ladies. I've always worked in the healthcare industry. Started at 16 as a nurse's aide, and I took care of two ladies in college that had MS, so I saw their journey. So when I was unexpectedly diagnosed after losing my vision, I was like, your whole world gets upside down when that happens.
Yeah, I bet you.
And so I went on medication for 2 years. The medication was making me sicker than what I was previously. And I was like, I am not doing this. And so I had kind of agreed that I'd be on medication for a couple of years so I could do some research. And I went down every rabbit hole possible.
Right.
The supplements, the natural life, the diet change, the working out.
Right.
It
works.
And that's all been in flux for years. I was in 2 years in a study on the efficacy of diet on sleep.
Right.
And so I have kind of done a little bit of everything, but always taking supplements. And there are some things I still take, like vitamin D and magnesium.
Sure.
And I think that there's a space and a time for that, just like I believe that there's a space and time for medications when necessary.
Well, I'm going to ask you straight out. When did you first notice a difference from using the patches? And tell us what the experience was like. I mean, you're on all these other things, what you're taking.
So I started using the patches full time in November of 2025. And I felt relief I had a lot of tingling in my legs and feet, fire ants, like my feet, my toes had gone numb. At times my legs were numb. It's a very weird sensation to walk around with numb legs. And sometimes I felt like somebody just tightened a great big rubber band or one of those workout bands around my knee. And it just hurt from my knee on my right side from my knee down. So I tried massage. No, not fun. I've tried massage and I've tried stretching and all kinds of different things.
Right.
But when I put the patches on, there's two things. There's a Liberty patch, which this is foundational. I recommend this to everybody. This is really what resets your body into homeostasis.
All right.
And then I added in a Victory patch. My pain wasn't pain. It didn't hurt. It just was numb.
Okay.
And so I added in the Victory patch because it increases blood flow and athletic performance. Although I wasn't an athlete, so to speak, it didn't hurt. And within the first couple of days, I was like, like the rubber band got less tight, right? And the tingling wasn't as sharp in my toes. I wear that one on the Victory patch. I wear on my ankle area.
Right.
But what really got me was within 90 days, I wasn't hurting at all. Like there was no numbness. Like I said,
Well, I tell you what,
pain.
it sounds absolutely bloody marvelous. And I want to test it myself because I've got something that won't go away. It's a very bad muscle scenario. Do you think it could help me?
I do think that it can improve that. I think you have to take the time.
Because I want to get back to my golf. I'm missing it terribly. Now, here's the deal. We're going to play this little video, and it's going to explain in depth how this all works, okay? And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about all the different ones here, because I look at that and I think, oh, my God, if I could learn all this stuff, I won't know which one to put on which one. where to
Right.
put it or
Right.
what to do. But we'll do that in just a second, and we'll be right back.
Super Patch is the most advanced wearable technology in the market, with 15 plus years of research and development. Super Patches are 100% drug-free, non-invasive, and backed by science. Our skin absorbs and transmits information from many different types of stimulation. Every physical, emotional, and psychological function has a corresponding neural code or message in our brain that controls and regulates it. Due to factors such as injury, stress, genetics, etc., these neural codes can get disrupted, leading to poor health, wellness, and performance. At Super Patch, we've decoded these neural messages that manage the neural control of physical, emotional, and psychological functions. Every single Super Patch has a unique pattern of ridges in it, similar to a QR code. When these ridges come in contact with our skin, the receptors in and around our skin send a message to our brain, which then decodes it. This intricate pattern of ridges is known as vibrotactile technology, or VTT for short. When the patch stimulates the skin receptors, it generates and sends a very complex signal to our brain to correct the specific neural codes that may be disrupted. The effects are almost immediate. So you focus less on overcoming wellness and quality of life challenges and more on living a happier and healthier life. Whether it's improving your sleep, enhancing your sports performance, or unlocking other life-enhancing benefits, Super Patch has you covered. Try Super Patch today and start your health and wellness journey.
Wow, that was interesting. I hope you got a better understanding of that. I did, well and truly. So, Marla, what you're really telling me is people can buy these from you. I gather you're a representative of the company, but do you actually help them choose the right ones and where it should go and all of the advice and all that?
I do. If a lot of times people will they'll navigate to the website and they'll just order.
Okay.
I ask that people reach out to me. I'm available by Facebook or Instagram Messenger works great. If you have my cell phone number, I also respond to text messages.
Okay.
Or definitely email. But message.
The website, which is now, is this the one? Is that the one there?
Marla
DMS Life New with Marla?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So people can contact you at that. All right. And or anything up here, there's your email also on the screen there to contact you, and you actually can go and see them. Now, if they're interstate, because this goes all over the place, what do you do in that case? You just go online. They can talk to you though, and then you.
Yeah, if they're on social media, they can definitely reach out to me. I'll get the message and respond. And a lot of times, what I like to do is share that little video with people. I have a couple other videos. I have a series of questions. I have a patch quiz that kind of helps us navigate which patch is right for you.
Right. Right.
That
Which patch is right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Were you when you first fell into these? Were you curious? Were you excited, or was it a combination of both?
I was curious because I was like, that sounds very interesting. And how can a patch work when it doesn't have any ingredients or anything?
Yeah,
and
then tablets, right? Yeah.
Yep. And then I had a patch experience, which we kind of laugh when we get patch face. We do a little simple stability balance test with people.
Right.
And once you realize, and we specifically do that with either the Liberty or the Victory patch, because it shows how quickly the body starts responding to the patches. That doesn't mean it's going to relieve your pain right away or your sniffles for our seasonal patch or whatever, but it shows that the body can respond. And over time, as you wear them, we would hope that you're wearing them, your ailment or your pain is going away. And then as a result of that, you wear it less and less. So it really becomes the future of your medicine cabinet.
I see. So no doubt there's misconceptions from people. What do they have mostly about the patches, and how do you address those concerns?
Yeah, another misconception, a lot of people that they think that they've seen it or they've heard it before. A lot of times they have it confused with medications. There's patches out there that have nicotine in them. There's some that have medications in them. There's lots of transdermal type patches. So it's really helping them to understand how it works truly with the brain and the nervous system, and that there's no ingredients. And so, my approach too is to not make claims or to convince anyone. I can't cure or treat anybody, but I can help bring relief and maybe even more comfort.
Well, to me, it sounds like the brain is getting reprogrammed a little bit. It's getting to understand there's no need to hurt there. It's quite fascinating, really. I mean, I'd love to understand how on earth can you take from a computer code and put it onto what is it, plastic that actually goes on your skin? Or
It's actually surgical tape that's 3D printed with a neurocode from the brain.
Very clever.
Yeah.
So was there a specific moment when you realized that the patches, were having a meaningful impact? You did touch on before that because you were numb in the legs, you were numb in the toes. I mean, that would frighten the devil out of me because it could be something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that improved and that got better. So looking back on your journey, Marla, what has been the most profound lesson, do you think, that you've learned about yourself through all your experiences, but this particular one, and mainly the patch technology? I just want to show these again. Look at them all.
Yeah.
Because don't get confused and don't think each one of these is one for one thing. The way you were speaking, it was like a combination.
Yeah. So we like to create patch stacks for people because you get the most effect. Liberty is foundational. And then you can add in a pain patch or a seasonal allergy or sniffly patch, which is called a defend patch. We even have Lumi, which increases collagen production in the body for people with their skin. And I've heard great results. We have a hormone patch. There's, like I said, there's 15 patches. I have kind of my 5 favorites that I wear every day.
Right.
I have my own personal sleep study. I did a sleep study.
Okay. Gee, they're like making a cocktail, isn't it?
Yes. Patch cocktails.
Yeah, very good. Health cocktails. So you could end up wearing 2 or 3 at the same time.
Yes.
Is there anybody that wears more?
Oh, yeah. There's people that wear 7, 8, 9. It really depends on what's going on with the body. And when I start talking to people and they start saying all these things are wrong with them, my first question is, what are your symptoms? What are your symptoms? We'll start with that. I can't help you necessarily fix all these, but when you start getting relief from those symptoms that are causing having.
Right. Yeah. Well, what is wrong with you? Well, where do I start? So listen, why are you so passionate, do you think, about sharing this technology? It's not always about the money, right?
No, it's not about the money. It is truly about being in a lane of its own. There is no other technology out there like this. There are other patches out there, many of them transdermal. There are patches out there that help with light therapy and photosynthesis, but this patch is the only one that affects the nervous system directly. And it was 15 years in research and over $25 million.
How much?
Or $25 million.
25 million. He sure made a lot in the early days of coding and stuff, didn't he?
Right. I guess he knew how to invest well, live light.
Yeah.
And
very good. Well, that's putting your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Very good. Very interesting and very clever. I mean, on the face of it, folks, you could think, oh, here we go, another scam, but not according to the results people are getting.
Well, and the other thing, too, to think about, Mark, is it's not another supplement or another medication. It's not this medication is better than that one, or it's not try this supplement, because our bodies do reject medications and or supplements over time. And sometimes we don't know exactly the pure ingredients that are in supplements. So what I like about this is it is a lane of its own. Yeah. And no one else can duplicate.
Yeah, so very much so. So the last shot I want to do is this. Who were this lot?
That was from our convention in Vegas in February. And that is my team. But people that I talk to every day, the people I have fun with. And
they're all out there helping people and helping themselves for that matter too.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's called Super Patch. And it's available through distributors by the looks of things only. You can't go buying it in Walgreens or...
You can't go buy it at Walgreens. You can go to the website and purchase it, and you'll pay full price. Right. When you get it through a distributor like myself, you will save upwards of 35%, depending on what you want.
Okay, all righty. So that's where to contact you. Yeah. And this email address here. Now, the email is one thing, but there was this one here where I could order, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And I would just encourage people to go look at my Facebook and my Instagram. I'm posting every day out there about these patches, about my lifestyle.
Get to know you a little bit, yeah.
Know me, yeah. I drop information on my carnivore diet, which is what has helped me with my MS.
Right.
And walking in the desert. I love to walk every morning, and I just love the energy of the desert. I always tell people that healing happens in the desert. And for those of you who've never been to Tucson, I think Mark would agree, it's a pretty magical place.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Marla, the very best of British to you, although I'm not British, but I'm from one of the colonies down under. Go help a lot of people. It's a wonderful thing. We need that today. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks so much.
Very interesting, very unique, very different. And I wish you well with that. And let's hope you can, really help a lot of people.
That's what I want to do.
All right. Well, there you have it. Isn't it marvelous? Super patch. What next? Robots? Yes, my robot. Thank you. I'll have a coffee in a moment. Thanks very much. Now, I like the idea of this. Just put them on your skin. They don't burn or hurt. From what I read, nothing. You hardly even know they're on. And then you leave them on for 24 hours or whatever your distributor advises you want, because everybody's different to find out what it is. But that's what it is. Go to that particular there. You can order directly, okay, off the site itself with Marla, and you can email her and chat with her, because you might want to ask a lot of questions, and she's terrific like that. Okay, she's very caring, and that's what she's there to do, is to advise you and to make sure that you get your questions asked. So do me a favor on the Mark Bishop Show, please, do the follow thing that you've got to do. Subscribe. We'd appreciate that. It helps the channel and it helps the show, and it's going to help a lot of other people, because going into the latter part of this year, we've got some terrific people coming on board, and people are interested in coming on board when you've got decent numbers. You know what I mean? And it takes time. So I appreciate that. In the meantime, you be kind. I always have that. I believe in that. You just want to be kind to each other.